So, how can one single daily habit completely change a business? I mean, really change it. Today, we're digging into the incredible story of a real estate broker, Lisa Chinatti. She used one simple rule to go from just scraping by to building an absolute empire. The question is, how did she do it? Well, let's get into it. Okay, this is where it all started for Lisa. 8. That's the number of deals she closed in 1 year. Now look, that's not bad. It's a start for sure. But as you're about to see, this was really just the starting line for something, well, something kind of crazy. And boom, this is the number just one single year later, 82. And get this, as a solo agent, that is a 10 times increase in her business. So the question is obvious, right? How on earth do you do that? What could possibly change that much in just 12 months? And this quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of the matter. Lisa really frames the problem so many of us face. There is a huge, huge difference between having a job that pays the bills and actually building a business. That was the gap she knew she had to cross. This is what you might call the agent's plateau. It's where so many talented, hardworking people just get stuck. They hit a ceiling. And you know why? It's because they never make that critical shift from just doing a bunch of tasks to actually running their work like a real disciplined business. So this is the big mystery we're here to solve. What was the secret sauce? What was that single repeatable thing she did that just lit a fire under her entire business and caused this massive growth? And here it is, the big reveal. It wasn't some crazy expensive, complicated marketing plan. Nope. It was a simple, powerful, and, this is the key, non-negotiable commitment she made to herself every single day. That's it. This is the two-part rule that flipped the switch. First, prospect every single day. And second, the goal wasn't just to make calls or send emails. The goal was to book 2 solid appointments. See the difference? The focus here is 100% on the outcome, not just the activity. And this is what made it so powerful. It was a hard and fast rule. This wasn't a, well, I'll try my best kind of thing. It was literally the price of admission to go home for the day. Can you imagine the discipline that builds? Some days, maybe it took her an hour. Other days, it might have taken till dinner. But the rule was the rule, period. Now, just look at how that one daily habit snowballed over time. It started with that jump from a few deals to 82. But it didn't stop there. That same core discipline she started with became the backbone of her entire company, letting her scale up to a brokerage with over 100 agents today. It really was the first domino that knocked down all the others. You see, this habit, it did so much more than just bring in leads. It actually forced a complete shift in her mindset. It turned Lisa from a passive agent, kind of waiting for the phone to ring, into a proactive CEO who was totally in the driver's seat of her own business. And you can really see the difference here. The hobbyist, their effort is all over the place. They wait for things to happen. They just react to the market. But the business owner, totally different game. They have a system. They actively hunt for opportunities. And eventually, they start to create their own market. That's the leap we're talking about. And as the company got bigger, the lessons got bigger too. The first habit was about discipline, but growing to over 100 agents, that's about leadership. And a few key things really stood out. You have to build systems that you can repeat over and over. That's how you scale. You've got to really figure out what a problem is before you jump in and try to fix it. You have to be willing to admit when you mess up and learn from it. And maybe most importantly, you have to run your business with intention. You make the choices. You don't let the business run you. So what does all this mean for you? The point here isn't necessarily that you need to go book 2 appointments a day. The real lesson is about finding your first domino, that one core habit that, if you do it consistently, will get the ball rolling and build incredible momentum for you. Because that's the end game, right? A sustainable business, not a business that relies on a lucky break or a hot market. We're talking about something you build, brick by brick, with actions you can count on. It's about moving away from just hoping for a good month to knowing you have a system that creates predictable results. So let's just end with this question. If you had to pick one non-negotiable habit, one commitment that you would start tomorrow and do every single day, what would it be? What is that one thing that you know deep down would become the engine for your own massive growth? That's really the question to think about.